We have two rules for hunting. Number one, we treat the animal with respect. Our other rule is if you shoot it, you eat it, or give it to someone that will. Deer and rabbits and anything else we hunt, we make sure that it gets used. My name is Jim Corder. I come from a farm background. Both of my grandparents were farmers and had land. From a young age, I loved to roam the fields. When I first started hunting with my grandpa and my dad, I'd carry the BB gun. And a rabbit would go out, my grandpa and my dad would shoot, and then I'd shoot my BB gun, and we'd get the rabbit. And I'd always say something like, well, we all shot, we're not sure who got it. My grandpa and my dad would just kind of look and smile, and they let me get away with that. My first deer was in 1966. Back then you couldn't start hunting until you're 14. My dad just showed me a stump and he said, you sit here. And he also said, if you see one, just holler at it, just say, hey, and he'll stop. And sure enough, here came a nice buck. And I really don't remember aiming very good. I just kind of pointed the gun. I shot and it went down. It was a 7-point buck. I got it on my first morning, first day ever deer hunting. My dad was probably more excited than I was. And now me being a dad, I understand that with my boys. My dad was generous, he was kind, he led by example. He was a ball turret gunner in World War II. One of the most dangerous jobs, flew 36 missions. He was a hero in the way that he took care of my mom. My mom had dementia. Last fall was his last bow hunt, and so we climbed up in a tree at our favorite spot called the Point, and he shot a doe with a crossbow. At age 93. To see him still excited to get a deer at that age, that was one of my highlights of hunting. He was my dad, but he was also my good friend. In my 50 years of deer hunting, he's been there opening day 49 out of those 50 years. And we have our little deer camp. We stay at his cottage. He always was the first one up. We always had a formal breakfast. He'd have placemats and napkins, everything all set out for breakfast. That's gonna be a tough morning this year. I hunt because my dad taught me how to hunt, and I've enjoyed it since I was 14 years old. And I can't wait to get out there every time I go out.
Yeah, I can just about say the same thing. My dad taught me to hunt too. When I was 14 years old or so. It was a lot of fun.
He left some big shoes for me to fill when he passed away. I am now up the ladder, one rung to the top. I'm the grandpa now. We called it the Grand Poo-Pah. We called my dad the Grand Poo-Pah. Now I'm it. One of the things I never want to lose is the fire to go hunting. There have been a few times when the alarm has gone off and I've rolled over and gone back to sleep. And every time, a couple hours later, I've always regretted it. Hunting has changed quite a bit over the years. When we first started hunting, we just go out and sit on a stump. We didn't worry about wind. We didn't worry about how we smelled. Now, we take a lot of things into account. We take into account the wind, our scent, time of day, time of year, all of the things we never used to pay much attention to, but it has made us more successful in our hunts. We never kept score. We always hunted together, And we never said, you got 5, I got 3, you got 1. It was always, we got together. Hunting is more than hunting. Hunting is an avenue to a lot of the things that we hold most dear. You know, God and family and friendships. I have a great wife, some kids that I'm very proud of. I'd like to be remembered as a dad who loved God, who loved nature, who loved his family, and that's what I'd like to pass on to my kids.